it is true that we all lick our own dicks every once in a while.
Tonight's forecast. A freeze is coming. Welcome to Superhero Stuff You Should Know. I am once again the man who knows too much about Batman, Clooney Bobblehead Ben, in light of today's episode. And next to me is...
She wants to kill you, dick!
Excellent delivery.
Dick!
It's better delivery than Clooney's. So...
Clooney, that was probably like near the end of shooting, and he was like, I'm giving up. I know where this is going now. 100%. So
you did emphasize the dick, but not as much as you did just now. The dick?
I only emphasize a little bit more than what he did.
Yes. So today we are going to go over the unused concept art of the masterpiece that is Batman and Robin. Yes.
Let's just say from the top, too. Let's say from the top, everybody.
Yeah.
Might not be our longest episode.
No.
We'll just see how it goes.
We don't have as much insight into this one as we do into, like, Batman Forever.
We're getting you in and out this week, all right?
Yeah, but some weeks are like that. So
some weeks are like that, yeah.
This week is solely on the concept art. However, I do have something in the works for next time that has something to do with Batman and Robin that you guys should stay tuned in. Basically an exclusive, if you will. So, anyway. But that is not that episode. This episode is purely on concept art, so let's just jump right the fuck to it, starting with...
Oh, yeah.
Blueprints. Yes, I know, this is boring as fuck, but this is stuff that Dan
Great
found.
start, Ben.
If you remember the unmade bat caves, this is all we could find of the bat cave and Batman and Robin at that time. So I'm just like, let's just get rid of all the blueprints and floor plans right out of the way. This is the floor plan to the bat cave where we don't really see much outside of the giant bat-shaped, big floor or so, I think, for the, for the vehicles and stuff. So I guess it's kind of cool to take a look from above.
To be positive, I'd like this bat symbol, like without the colors, I guess. It's a cool bat symbol.
It's cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's just associated with this movie, but,
Yes.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Moving further, this is the lab equipment for other parts of the movie.
You gotta start with a bang, man. You gotta remember this when you write your screenplays, okay?
Let's get rid of all the boring shit. This is the...
we got some fucking Bunsen burners and
this is
the
our
Bat
Ave
Bunsen
Maria.
burner.
In the beginning, just start out slow. It's a slow burn.
We got to crescendo this shit. I see what you're doing.
Yes. All right. Lily pad, spotting plan, and then these are the tiki-looking shit in the party.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
So,
okay.
Anyway, moving on now. All right, finally, Batsuits.
Okay.
So we'd seen these in the unmade Batsuit stuff before. This is a very naked-looking Batman.
Yeah.
No cape. Not much color outside of that, but this is by Miles Tevis, and a lot of the stuff we're going to look at is by Miles Tevis. A little bit closer to what we'd end up seeing. Of course, we see the nipples, all the suit, and the lines and stuff are very reminiscent of the sonar suit in Batman Forever, and we've got those skates that are on the back of his calves there.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Episode. So we got that. We've also got the white eyes, but I think that's just more a stylistic thing for the concept art. They hadn't done the white eyes in the other movies, so it's not something I think that they were planning on doing here. And then this looks a little closer to the sonar suit with a giant bat on it, but these would end up being obviously reconfigured or redesigned. But this is a little closer to imagine if this was closer to a white bat suit with like the black bat and stuff like that. That would have been cool.
Yeah, this is not the worst bat suit ever right here.
No, this is way better than what they went with. Than what they went with at the end. If you showed up at the finale fighting Freeze in this, would be like, that's kind of badass.
The one that, yeah, it's true. The one that's like really focuses on Clooney's dick.
I was like, when I said it would be cool to have a blue and gray bat suit, that's not what I meant when it came to his.
It's all blue except for a gray codpiece.
We have the regular suit that he wears throughout the movie, this time with like a silver insignia at the top, and that notice the bat logo on the top of the boots there. So a little closer to what we ended up getting. Probably the closest, honestly, out of the stuff that we've seen. Mm-hmm. Moving further, we got Dick. specifically Robin.
Yes.
So they redesigned his costume in this one. No longer does he have like the collar or even the R symbol on it. Instead, he's got the Robin symbol on his chest, kind of like Batman. But it's basically if they did the Nightwing suit in red before they ended up doing that for real in the New 52 and gave him a cape.
Right.
So
he looks shorter in this too. He looks like younger, shorter, or something. Like Chris O'Donnell's not this short, right?
No, I think that's just how he was written or how he was designed in this.
How they drew it, yeah.
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 So moving further, this is him without the cape. Look at that tushy.
I know.
Right.
They drew the Nightwing buns in here as well, so.
That's what's hidden behind the cape. They're just like, you know what, for a PG-13 rating, we need to give him a cape to cover that. Because there's no way.
It's too much. It's too much for us to handle right here.
Yep. Moving further, this is kind of a cool shot of Robin on a rooftop over here, again by Miles Tevis on this. So this is another look at the Batman and Robin design of the Robin suit here. It's pretty cool. We had nothing like this in the final movie, though.
No, this is a way cooler shot.
Yeah,
for sure.
This is way darker looking too than what we got in the movie. Moving further, we got kind of a storyboard-ish type of thing of Robin escaping from an ice blast. It looks like, and then further on, we get Robin's Redbird, his motorcycle that he uses in a couple scenes in this one. So, right down to when he makes his entrance in the museum where he crashes through and he leaves the Robin insignia as he crashes through somehow.
Oh, right.
So, this is a look at the different designs there for that. To be honest, I barely remember the actual design in the movie in comparison to these. So, it just does not make that memorable of an impression outside the fact that he has one in the movie. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I guess like motorcycles are so associated with Batman and Robin, like way more than I expected. I mean, way more than I thought before. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
I like the red one. I feel like it's just like the purple doesn't make any sense. It's got to stay on brand, you know?
Exactly. Also calls tribute to the fact he was into motorcycles in Batman Forever and had the red Robin on his helmet on that, which gave him the name Robin. So like it made a lot of sense that he would have a motorcycle in this movie.
Yeah.
Moving further, this is for the Ice Mobile. I'll have another look at this Ice Mobile at the end, but he's in a different type of vehicle towards the end when they have to go on the ice because Mr. Freeze has frozen Gotham City. So these are some other designs here. Giant ass fin. Your fave.
I was gonna say that too, man. It's just not for me. I like an ice cycle. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's toyetic. That could be great. That stands for it could be great, you know. But it's just this is not quite there.
All Robin has to do is just back up in reverse really quickly, and he'll impale somebody with that thing.
He's gonna kill somebody with that thing. That's for sure. Oops.
Moving further, this is the Batmobile that we covered in the unmade Batmobile thing. Looks weird. I think it's the perspective.
We made fun of this, right? Because this perspective's way off. Yeah, it's so
wheels.
Strange.
Yeah. It looks off on this, but it does have the whole idea of it being basically opened. You know, there's not much protecting Batman on this. He's got his ears sticking out right there. I guess they got fed up with having to have a canopy that was large enough to be able to fit the ears inside. In this version, they're just like, fuck the canopy. He's just sitting in there. The ears there are bigger than the movie too.
We're going west.
Yes.
On this.
This is closer to what we got in the movie in terms of the final design for the Batmobile in here. Didn't we rank this one above the Batman Forever one in our rankings one? I think it was pretty close, but I think
I probably tipped it over the edge because
I think you did, yeah.
It was because I don't like the Forever one, and this one was like a lot better than I remembered. I remembered it being like worse than Forever.
Yeah.
And seeing it again, I thought it was a little bit better. It was kind of a slight improvement.
I think they both look cooler without the lights in them. If you take away the blue light in Forever and you take away like the reddish orange type stuff in this one, I think they look a lot cooler, honestly. Even though it fits that aesthetic.
It's the ribbing or something, but it's ribbing plus the body design in the Forever one. This one, it's actually pretty. It's pretty close to something that I would really like if I could just make a few changes. It would be like an awesome toy or something. You know what I mean? But I mean, it would be actually close to my ideal Batmobile in some ways if they would just kind of close up the body, the hood, make that back fin smaller, and maybe put of actual canopy on it. I do like a canopy. I don't like the head exposed.
Yeah.
And maybe put the driver's seat more in the middle and not way on the back wheels. But I mean, that's a shitload of changes. But it's kind of there's a lot I like about it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe the open canopy too, as you said, like might be a callback to West. It's just that because the Westmobile it's a convertible, it's supposed to look like that. Whereas this one, it's just like you're not used to this aesthetic with it being open air. You're just like something's missing when he's just driving, open up, bobbling his head along the way.
Get some some fucking bugs in his teeth.
It's like, oh fuck, It's a reason why we should have built the canopy.
Yeah.
Moving further, Mr. Freeze. So we have some early designs of Mr. Freeze here. First off, look how huge his hands are in this.
This is it's cartoonish. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like early designs did have something slightly different. It had red goggles for Arnold here.
That's cool.
On it, which would have been cool. Fits the Heart of Ice aesthetic, the Batman the Animated Series aesthetic and stuff. And we have some more here. And those who have the Kenner toys, like I did growing up and Zach did and all of us did, you might notice the similarity between this and the actual action figure. I had this one, the Ice Blast Mr. Freeze.
Shit.
It seems to take after this version of the concept art and stuff.
That's cool. So, they probably did go on that.
Yeah, definitely, I think.
Yeah.
And then this is the final design here of it. Even still with the goggles on that. And just to bring this back into full view, Zach actually did a version of the Mr. Freeze with the red goggles.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
So I'm holding that up here and stuff. So that's pretty cool, I think.
That is cool.
A nice little combination of the concept art and the Heart of Ice aesthetic with the design of the movie. So, moving further, we got some more Mr. Freeze stuff. His ice pack, jetpack type of thing that he's flying off in the beginning and stuff when they're trying to catch up to him. Weirdly greenish looking.
Yeah, I don't know
blue.
why they did that. I mean, okay, whatever.
We need bright colors in this shit.
It's just, it's a fake world, man. You can control the colors. Just make it blue.
I know. I know. This is the back of a Mr. Freeze henchman. You can tell by the skates.
Looks like a predator on ice skates.
That would have been cool. It's a completely different movie, but would have been cool.
Yeah, let's get on that. I mean, Batman versus Predator, that would be such a sweet-ass movie, dude. That would involve Warner Brothers and Disney getting along at this point, though, wouldn't it?
I mean, pretty much. And then also would bring, Batman Dead End to life, in a way.
Yeah.
But to an official film.
Full AAA film, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving past the Batman and Robin versus Mr. Freeze stuff in the beginning, we get the jungle area where Bane and Poison Ivy are created. So we've got some concept art here of that lair where Dr. Jason Woodrue creates Bane in here. You can kind of see Bane hanging upside down on this table with Woodrue creating him and stuff.
When the Dark Knight Rises came out, were there reports saying it's the first time Bane's been in a movie? Because I feel like everybody forgot about this one. I feel like probably the news.
Somebody would have said that. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody would have said that, right?
No,
like the Nashton thing.
Villain. Yeah. Exactly. They forgot about this one. And in some ways, he is forgotten in comparison because it's not the main villain of this one.
No, he's a henchman for Poison Ivy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bomb. So.
My main takeaway when I walked out of the theater when I was a kid was Poison Ivy blew that smoke too much.
I remember this, yes.
That was I remember I hated how much she did it for some reason.
Yeah, it came up again though. You were right when we rewatched it together a couple years ago. I'm like, you're right. That's a valid criticism.
I was a budding film critic at 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
However old I was.
We have another look at more lab stuff. Stuff looks a lot tamer than it does in the movie here. Doesn't quite have the Gothic castle aesthetic.
This looks like she's making a salad.
Yeah.
You know, this just looks like a good old time with some arugula.
Yeah. Put some balsamic on there. Have a nice night.
Yes.
And then we have what ended up looking like the lab, Poison Ivy's, basically her lab before where she becomes Poison Ivy, basically. More stuff of the entrance into Project Gilgamesh, which is how Woodrue creates Bane. So all this stuff from around those scenes. And we have Bane, the very green-skinned Bane over here.
Juiced up.
Yeah, huge ass boots, too. Look at that.
That is true. Would kill anybody just with one stomp.
Just stomp on them, yeah.
Yeah.
Moving further, we got some Poison Ivy concept art. So this looks like this is by Tim Burgard, and we're going to go through. This is probably the most. This and Batgirl probably have the most interesting or varied looks here. So we'll dive a little bit into this. So what we're looking at for our listeners, Poison Ivy having really curly red hair. Also, her makeup looks really done up. So she seems to have almost like white face makeup, almost like a clown, with the lipstick and a shit ton of rouge on the cheeks. Yeah,
it's like 80s. It looks kind of like there's a certain 80s look that's this like a shitload of blush on, like, I don't know fucking anything about makeup, but like a lot of blush. I think that's the right terminology on a very white foundation. I guess I don't fucking know. Correct me in the comments.
Yes.
But yeah, like David Bowie kind of rocked this look too.
Yeah,
but this came out.
That's true.
This came out in '97, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the 80s were well and done at this point, so it's kind of an interesting choice.
I think so. And then you've got, this one vine coming up her leg. Her main bodysuit is black in this, and she's got this green vine coming up her leg and then across her chest, and then, her basically everything covering her arms and everything, basically everything up above her breasts are vines and stuff. Interesting design. Not my preferred look for it, but they're playing around with shit, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's not the worst ever, really.
This might be though.
Thorns. I sort of get the idea, but should be more green.
It should be. So she's all. First off, I think the whole thorny thing kind of defeats the purpose. She's supposed to be seductive. She's supposed
That's
to
true.
Make you want to come to her. Instead, you're just like, I don't want to touch you at all.
That's
as hot
true.
as you are.
She should be able to maybe grow a thorn easily or something, but she has to look sensual and shit.
Also, look at her hands.
That's true.
She's like part plant.
It's like out of proportion. It's like something weird with the perspective there too. But
it's either that or she has no hands. She's just growing like a vine. Is her? I don't know. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then
so for our oral listeners, she's wearing like a black bodysuit, midriff pretty much showing, and then like spikes, thorns all over, heels, and pink hair. And some green at the top, but mostly black. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah,
purple
I prefer
gloves.
The other one way more. The other one's a lot better so far.
Yeah, it's a little better. Yeah.
All right, moving further, we got these that are closer to what we got in the movie. Pretty much, we still got
the right's pretty much what we got, right?
Yeah, this is pretty much what we got. On here. It's they still went with one of the best ones so far. Let's keep going. So this is a little bit closer to the general Poison Ivy aesthetic in terms of like long red hair and just pretty much all green for the body. They did still play around with the leaves, or basically covering everything from the top up, from the waist up.
Right.
And then I guess it's interesting. We've got kind of like this bodice type of thing that she's wearing on the left that's like an exposed back where you see all the vines are kind of creating the skeleton of it. It's weird.
This is not the worst ever. I think this one's okay. I think this lattice, it's like the shit that plants grow on. And forgive me, I don't fucking know the terminology, but I see the idea here. So
yeah.
I actually kind of like this one. This is an A tier for me.
Yeah. I think the one they got in the movie is still better, but this is still better than the one with the thorns.
Yeah. That one wasn't that good.
This one's just another variation of the same thing on there.
Mm-hmm.
You can see a little bit of the Uma Thurman in her face on the right. Also a little bit of
Yeah.
Jessica Chastain too at the same time.
That's true. Wow. I wonder if she'll play Poison Ivy in the future. That would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be. And so yeah, those were the Poison Ivies and stuff. But yeah, I think they went with the best ones for the movie. Here are different versions of the ice cream factory where Mr. Freeze is hanging out and wanting people to sing along
With his
Mr. Whitesmith Christmas.
with those booties he has on, the fucking
Yeah, those polar bear slippers.
polar bear slippers. That was my favorite part of the movie
Amazing.
when we rewatched it.
Yes. Sing.
I kind of want to get polar bear slippers now.
We'll do a Schumacher tribute where you got the polar bear slippers and Zach comes back, but he's in the full Riddler regalia.
Oh, that'd
type
be
of
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the Blinko Ice Cream Factory, where not Two-Face. That was the last movie. Mr. Freeze hangs out, and just other things. Water and power plant. Boring. Moving further, we got an entrance.
Oh, this one's cool.
This one's cool though. This is the entrance to the botanical garden.
This is like the metal album cover, dude. That's what this looks like.
This is, I don't think this is in the movie, right? Like I've seen the movie a few times and I don't remember this at all, but or at least it was only a part of it. Yeah, but it's almost got the head of a beast as the entrance here with teeth, and Poison Ivy is standing on top of the beast's snout and staring into its green eyes and black horns and stuff. Really pretty cool though.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I don't think it was in the movie though.
No. This is the Gollum character. No, not
Darth Maul was in this
movie. He looks like Darth Maul, but yeah, this is his character named Gollum, who is a gang member who has to give up his hideout to Poison Ivy and Bane. And I guess this is the concept art for him. He's played by Doug Hutchinson from he was in Punisher Warzone as Looney Bin Jim. But some have a sort of fan theory that he's part of the same gang as the ones who fought Robin. Or Dick Grayson in Batman Forever, with their face painted and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? That's pretty good for a fan theory. It makes sense. It's part of the same world, similar makeup and shit. And, a lot of people made comments about how the gang that Pattinson fights in the beginning is almost like a more grounded version of the same idea with the face paint type of thing. So
that's true.
That's cool. Moving further, this is the Freeze-mobile, the giant-ass Mr. Freeze-mobile that he uses to crash the Poison Ivy entrance. The gala and shit. So, as overdone as the rest of this movie. Look at the huge wheels on this. He's basically in a tank. This is pre-Nolan too.
Again, it's just way over designed. If they were going this like Kitty route, the Adam West route, everybody's got to look like a fucking toy on screen. Yeah, exactly, and it's just way overdone. This is overdone.
Not like a toy
This is just a fucking another great. They could have sold so many Mr. Freeze toys if this just looked cool.
This made me wonder. Now that you said that, if Mr. Freeze just like this is stupid, but he like freezes one of the Batmobiles and then steals it, and then he's in that.
That would be sweet.
Like
a fucking icicle Batmobile, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would work. I mean, but it's a Adam West kind of the logic of the show. So, but I mean, yeah, that would be goofy and fun. It's just like that, and like the way Mr. Freeze looks. I've always said this. It's like Michael Bay's Transformers.
It's way overdone. Yeah.
Way over designed.
Especially if you look how simple it is in the Batman, the animated series. When they redid all of Mr. Freeze, and it's just literally just a very simple suit. Even though, he's in a glass dome fishbowl helmet, but still, it's a very simple suit.
Yeah, make it simple. You're overthinking it. You're overdoing it. You have to make it a little bit like with Transformers. You got to make it a little bit more realistic. I get it because it's live action, but it is just 4 billion moving parts that they spent $1 trillion for them to animate. It's just a waste of time. And I'm glad those animators got paid. I'm glad they got a lot of money. I'm glad all that kind of shit. But artistically, not good.
Yeah. Moving further, we got Mr. Freeze's watch. That's fun.
This is okay.
I don't know if anybody sells these or makes these for any cosplayers, but that's kind of cool.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's all right.
The freeze gun, again, way over designed. Look at this shit.
Over designed.
Valves are on this thing.
His suit too, like I remember I was probably 13, and I just didn't want any of these toys, dude. I didn't want a single one.
Yeah. Should have stuck to some of the original designs.
Yeah.
This is the Freeze engine. Looks like
this looks like it being a green vial thing. It looks like one of the ooze canisters from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Looks like more something that Poison Ivy would use than something Mr. Freeze would use, but that's what it is. And then there's the Freeze cannon on Mr. Freeze's truck, again with the yellow and green. Come on.
I don't know why they did that.
Yeah. That's not how it is in the movie, though. So
Should
it's just
be,
in the concept
it's
art.
blue in the movie, right?
Or it's mainly silver, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. And then we got Freeze in Arkham. So
Okay.
this is pretty much what we saw in the movie. This is done by Carlos Rosario on here, and it's basically the black and white prison stripes type of look that we got in the movie when he's in Arkham. So that's fun on that. But yeah, so far I would say that they went with the right direction in most of these, except, well, not for Mr. Freeze, but for Poison Ivy at least. Yeah.
Poison Ivy, yeah, she's cool.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That wasn't over designed really at all,
No.
Yeah, it was fine. No problem.
She could have been if they went with the fucking thorns. If they went with the thorns,
That's
plus
right.
the way
That
Arnold
was-
looks in this movie, be like, okay, this is even worse.
It'd be kind of unwatchable, even more unwatchable. But
yes,
yeah. Actually, does Poison Ivy have the best suit in this movie? She probably
might.
does.
She
Now that we think about it, because you got the nipples on both the bat suits, Batman and Robin,
All
and
the
Mr.
suits
Freeze
too,
is a
yeah.
fucking travesty of nature. It's a nightmarish hellscape of a design, not in a good way.
Poison Ivy has the simplest one.
She's simple, and I don't mind the little devil horn thing she had. Like, it's okay, it's whatever.
I don't really like the eye things though.
Oh yeah,
I'm just like,
that's true.
You don't need that. Like again, like the whole point is for her to be all seductive and stuff. Then like you don't need to over design her face. You don't have to put all that stuff and do the hair. Like you don't need to do that shit.
It's Uma Thurman, man. Just fucking let it happen.
In a skin tight suit. Like you don't need that much more. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's what we got. And we're about halfway through the movie, and so we're going to take a quick bad break.
Explode When Defeated presents something really neat and full of meat.
Those children aren't going to protect themselves in a brand new podcast series about everyone's favorite giant reptile.
Godzilla?
No, we already did that one.
Rodan?
No, we did that one too.
Gorgo?
Gamera. We're talking about Gamera.
From turtles to medieval samurai golems on our new series, Demolition Daie.
Only on the HyperX Podcast Network.
Ellen, in 15 seconds, what is Nice Games Club?
It's our game dev podcast. Steven, help!
Game mechanics, accessibility, art and animation, level design, prototyping.
Everything that goes into making video games. How's that, Mark?
Nice. Listen to Nice Games Club wherever you get your podcasts, or at nicegames.club.
Lord have mercy, y'all. Do you like hounds? Do you enjoy pooches? Do you find yourself enjoying time spent with that of canines? Talking about dogs, y'all.
As you might have heard, Superhero Stuff You Should Know has now teamed up with BarkBox. For every month, you get a box for your special canine.
Pooches.
Or hounds.
That's right. One free extra month if you go to barkbox.com/superherostuffpod.
Follow the link and you'll get a free extra month valued at $35 and valid for all multi-length plans.
So get the BarkBox for your hound, for your pooch, for your canine.
Your doggo will thank you. Support for Superhero Stuff You Should Know is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming.
Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle.
Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you.
20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code Johnson's Ballsack. Yes, that's back for our longtime listeners. Johnson's Ballsack at manscaped.com.
If my math is correct, you'll be serving 8 million balls.
That's right. Now listen up, everyone. If you want the Bruce Wayne lifestyle, the billionaire playboy lifestyle, then you've gotta shave. And we're not talking about your face.
We're talking nose hair, armpit hair, pubic hair, When Bruce Wayne goes out with Silver St. Cloud, he doesn't have nose hair sticking out of his nostrils.
When he's working out in the cave, he doesn't have armpit hair sticking out under his sleeves.
And after he's gone down on Catwoman, because yes, that's canon, and she's going down on him, Bruce doesn't have a huge forest of pubic hair to get in her teeth. He manscapes.
And if you want to be like Bruce Wayne, then get Manscaped through us.
I've personally been using Manscaped for years before they sent us these products for the podcast, and I know from experience that they're the ones I trust to reduce nicks and keep everything groomed down there.
Now the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped has arrived, and oh man, is it a game changer.
Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies.
First off, the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming, and dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever.
Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. Now, the Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and also has a 400K LED spotlight if you need a more precise shave or if you're shaving in the darkest pits of the Batcave.
Because this trimmer is waterproof, you can say goodbye to the mess on the bathroom floor.
You thought that was good, but want to take your grooming game even further to the next level? The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer.
The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate nose holes.
Their Crop Preserver ball deodorant and Crop Reviver ball toner will change the way you approach your hygiene routine. Trust me when I say, fellas, your balls will thank you.
Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0. The Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Bring your comfort and boxers to another level.
It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com.
And get 20% off and free shipping with the code Johnson's Ballsack.
That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use our code Johnson's Ballsack.
Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Now back to the show. And we are back, and we're going to continue going and bobbling our heads into the Batman and Robin concept art, unused. So, let's hopefully Andrew doesn't get a seizure from bobbling his head. But first, I want to cover this meme after the break. So, there's been kind of a meme, a tweet that's been going around since October 2020. It looks like that's popular for this movie.
This is great.
From this user who says, quote, "He was trying to cool the planet, and she was regrowing the forest, and they wanted us to root for the trust fund billionaire." I think this is one of the stupidest things on this because of the fact that I'm like,
set him straight, Ben.
You're talking. Yes, they wanted to do those things. They also wanted to commit genocide. So yeah, I'm going to root for the guy who's trying to stop them versus the guy who wants to kill everybody. Mr. Freeze flat out is fine with freezing a dog to death in this movie. Like, I don't really have much sympathy for him on this outside of the Nora stuff.
Nora.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this guy probably just wanted to make a tweet and didn't really think, it's just supposed to be kind of in jest.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't 100% serious writing this. Some people probably are, probably took him 100% seriously. I could see that. But yeah, this again, it's like how you write a villain is like at least a part of their motivation is kind of right? Yeah. That's how you write a good villain. The ultimate example is like Magneto, right? But or one of the ultimate examples. But what makes them a villain is how they go about in achieving those goals. It's the method, right? And the method in this case, in this movie, was genocide, like you said. So yeah, it's just people trying to reduce it to terms that aren't accurate.
Yeah, which unfortunately is very common these days. And I get it's a joke and stuff. I just think that some people are taking this seriously, especially given the whole stuff that we've covered about how people just kind of hate Bruce Wayne because he's rich and that type of stuff, and to kind of ignore a lot of the context. So
Yeah. Again, I want to say I kind of want Bruce Wayne to just be rich, but not a billionaire. Maybe $1 million or $2 million. That's just me though. I feel like he could still kind of have all the Playboy, whatever fucking shit you want to. You can have cotillions and shit, but then we don't have Wayne Enterprises. I don't know. I feel like there's a take out there where that exists. Not that I, agree with this meme in any way or form, shape or form, but
I think
don't know.
It's there. It's always been there, kind of just as a plot device of just like this is just how he's able to do this without any superpowers. He just has a bunch of gadgets and he has the resources for that, and that's about it. You don't need to think that much further on it. But now, these days, a lot of people want to, and so we have episodes on that anyway about why that's a bad take. So check out that episode if you haven't already, and let's move on.
Moving on. All right.
Poison Ivy's Lair. So, pretty close to what we got, where it's just shit ton of plants and everything.
This
as
looks
appropriate.
psychedelic. It looks like Grateful Dead, like a Grateful Dead poster or something.
Which fits, I think it fits the aesthetic. Of this very colorful and everything, but makes sense. It's a lot of plants. Plants are colorful. So
plants are colorful. Plants get you high. She's trying to entice men with her fucking thing. She fucking blows in people's faces 1 million times in the movie.
Yes.
I mean,
Exactly.
it's cool. It's fine. It makes sense. It's cool.
Yeah. This is a shot of Gotham covered in ice, exclusive, I think, because we couldn't find this online, to the Batman Definitive History of the Dark Knight book by Andrew Farago and Gina McIntyre.
Oh, nice.
You can get that on our shop. We have an affiliate link to Amazon there where you can get it, add this to your collection, but this is a shot of basically Gotham City being frozen over, and you can kind of see the Bathammer, the vehicle that Batman uses in order to face off against Mr. Freeze and drive on the ice. You can see that in the foreground there, along with a quote here from Barbara Ling. Barbara Ling being the production designer on both of the Schumacher Batman movies. She said, quote, "I didn't want Gotham to be tagged to a specific time period. One of the greatest aspects of the Batman comics is that they're timeless."
Yeah.
I'd say that's pretty much in agreement too with a lot of what we've seen of just the 90s Batman in general, the aesthetic for the Burton films, the aesthetic for Batman the Animated Series. It's this idea of this timelessness and why that still like holds up when you look at those Gothams today.
Right.
So
yeah,
pretty awesome.
Gotham is a character, and it's always kind of Art Deco, and it's just we all like that kind of thing for sure. I think most 99% of Batman fans, if not 100.
Yeah, exactly. So this is another shot of Robin's Ice-mobile type of thing. Kind of a giant fin thing, but it's more from the foreground, as you can see, is actually just it's a fan. As you see,
it's
here.
a turbine, right?
It's a turbine. Yeah, actually, not a fan. It looks like a fan, but yeah, it's a giant turbine.
I mean, about basically the same idea, but like, dude, I love capes, but I'm starting to get a little like the fucking what's that character from fucking Incredibles?
Edna Mode.
Edna Mode, man, this is too close for
No
comfort,
capes,
dude.
darling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been a dark ending, a death in the family. It's a dark ending to Chris O'Donnell's Robin.
Chris O'Donnell died at 45.
You shouldn't have gotten your cape caught in there, dick.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Moving further, this is the ice armor suit that Batman wears, which we regarded as one of the worst suits in our Wrecking the Batsuits episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Silver
protecting
right there. Yeah.
Protecting what's most important, you know?
Yes, exactly. Here are some looks at the Batgirl outfit. So, this is interesting on here. We have a bat-shaped boob window for her. That is...
Is that what that is?
That's what that is. That is flesh-toned. Right over there.
Oh, my God.
On
They
the
would
left.
have never fucking...
They obviously didn't do that.
She would have never lived that down, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very short cape compared to what we see of Batman and Robin on there. And the one in the middle, obviously, is closer to what we ended up getting to. And then the one on the right is another ass shot on that. So... But, Miles Tevis was consistent. We also got an ass shot of the Robin suit in there.
He's just drawing asses, you know?
He's just drawing
It's all
If you're a
good.
superhero, that's what you got. So,
Exactly. They're doing the squats.
Yep.
They're doing the leg presses. They're doing the acrobatic, whatever the fuck it is, exercises. Her fucking ears, though, are terrible on the right.
There are. I wonder if they're just like, you know what, we're not going to get these right. That's why she barely uses the cowl in the movie. Like, she only
it's like
uses it as a motorcycle helmet, and that's it.
Oh, that's right. I thought about this during the break, but like what we got, I think Batgirl's costume's like maybe second best in the movie.
Yeah.
I think they did a pretty good job with her ultimately.
Yeah, it's decent. I'd prefer some of the classic colors, but it works for what it is. I think it's like
all right.
second to Poison Ivy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving further,
For sure.
there's another one. She's doing a dance pose over here. She's got one leg up, and then she's pointing out her right arm over there. It's this funny pose that Tevis did for her.
It's not really bad though. This is kind of a good suit, I think.
It's a good suit. I just think the pose is funny when you first look at it.
It's like a silvery black. It's drawn kind of silvery black anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of more or less, I don't know, standard. Got high heels. It's nothing too crazy,
Yeah.
Kind of what you expect.
Not as crazy as the boob window one.
Oh yeah.
That one I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's a Power Girl thing, and even then, it's a little bit. Isn't there one panel with Power Girl where she's like, they try to make like a deep explanation for the fucking boob window, and it's like
I didn't read it, but
there's one panel in like the early 2000s or something. It's like semi-famous. Anyway, comment about it, please, below if you don't mind.
Please let us know where it is. Yeah,
let us know. But yeah, it's like the hole in my heart, or I don't know. It was like it was some sort of like when you read it the first time you read it, at first glance, it's like, oh, that makes sense. And then you read it again, it's just like, nah, they just wanted to fucking show her tits.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all this is.
That still makes more sense than this one for Batgirl. I'm just like, that's no protection. You got armor everywhere else except that. Like, it's stupid.
They just thought Supergirl was too conservative. They wanted to just draw something else,
something different for the other heroes. Yeah,
she's Earth 2 Supergirl, right? That's what that is.
For Power Girl, yeah, she's Earth 3.
Yeah. Earth 3. Yeah.
This is Ice Armor Batgirl, from the ending as well. Though I mean, she's pretty much in the same outfit. And this is, you can see that she's more armored up in the arms, the torso, the crotch, the calves area, but her thighs look like they're exposed, so just don't hit her there.
She needs the mobility, man.
Yeah, that's true. And then this is pretty much the final design as well. Not bad, and again, that's the cowl that they used with the motorcycle.
This is all right.
Yeah.
I think the cow's a little too wide or something, but it's okay.
Yeah, I think that's why they barely had her have it. She's mostly just in the mask throughout the scenes when she's fighting Poison Ivy, and then when they end up getting to the observatory.
Okay.
Moving further, so we have some comments that I wanted to get to early because they tie into this. So Logan Wood brought up that the grapnel that we showed at 5604 in our episode on the Batman Forever concept art is used by Batgirl and Batman and Robin in the observatory, and you can actually see that here on the bottom here. We have the concept art or the images of the gadget, and I don't really remember it being used in Batman Forever, but Batgirl very clearly uses it in Batman and Robin, so that's there too.
Oh, right.
And then Oliver Emeralds brings up every gadget that Batgirl uses was from Batman Forever. Her first grapple is the Vault grapple from Forever. Her laser is the Batman Forever unused gas gun. It's on the Vault. This is the laser that Robin and Batgirl used to unfreeze equipment. So I've got that screen cap here along with the concept art for that gas gun that Batman was going to use in the Enigma Tech party, but didn't end up using. And then her Batarang grapple is the Batarang design from the movie. So that's pretty cool. Good observations, both Logan and Oliver on that one. And along the same lines, we also have As Fox bringing up that Batman's bolas or bolos were shown in our concept art episode, and he uses those at the beginning of the movie when he fights Two-Face's goons. That's correct. So awesome. Thanks, everyone. Moving further, this is not necessarily concept art, but we thought we would throw this in. So in the movie, Batman has like a gadget where he shows footage of Poison Ivy confessing of trying to kill Nora Freeze. But if you look on the right, in the comic book adaptation, the screen pops out of Batman's lower stomach. And Mr. Freeze watches it from Batman's lower stomach.
So this is a comic take.
It's a comic. Yeah, it's the comic adaptation. of the movie. And I'm like, was that something that they decided on in the comic, or is that something that they originally were trying to do for the movie? But either way, Dan included this, and I thought it was hilarious on that, especially when he's just like, it just pops out of his torso right there.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Moving further, we have some images as well from Starlog magazine that Dan put together from us. This is Mr. Freeze's lair, and it actually looks pretty fucking cool. Look at all those like ice stalactites and stalagmites on this.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's pretty cool. Mr. Freeze is in his lab over here. He's in the suit. He's not in the robe with the polar bear slippers in this concept art.
So it's like a fully frozen lab with some golden elements. I guess golden machinery or something, but it's like an interesting mix of white, blue, and gold, which is that is kind of cool. That's a look. That's cool.
Yeah, the caption here by Barbara Ling says, "I knew going in that the major element throughout this movie was going to be ice." So, very true. Yeah. As Arnold always reminded us throughout the movie. Another shot of
he
the
never let
Batcave.
us forget.
Yeah. Another shot of the Batcave here. On it, looks like some concept design here where it's a lot more brightly lit over here, so that's interesting. It says,
looks
to the Riddler's...
like sci-fi book art, too.
Definitely,
it's very kind of out there.
Yeah. It says, thanks to the Riddler's destructive spree in Batman Forever, the Batcave needed a total revamp for Batman and Robin. That is true. You could argue that Riddler blowing up the Batcave and the Batmobile in Batman Forever is the in-universe explanation for why the Batcave and the Batmobile look so different in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Moving further, we've got the observatory. A caption talking about how Barbara Ling was thrilled to have the opportunity to take another crack at visualizing the Dark Knight's world. I can imagine.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
More stuff on the Batmobile with its red thrusters in the back. Look at that shit. Very, again, continuing the over-design type stuff that we've been sort of railing this movie on right now.
Yeah.
More art here. We've got the Ice Mobiles, as well as some concept art of Arkham Asylum, where the cell, basically, where Mr. Freeze is being kept, where he's only confined to the area where it's refrigerated, but he can't go beyond that, or else he'll be in trouble. And the caption says, "In the world of Batman, rooms do not have that Martha Stewart touch."
Is this this is the caption in the book? What is this again?
This is from the Starlog magazine, I believe.
Starlog magazine. Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
This is very 90s humor of the time.
Yeah.
More stuff of the vehicles and the guns. This is an interesting caption here on the Freeze gun. So this is a less stylized version of the Freeze gun over here. It says, "Wouldn't Otto Preminger have killed for one of these back in the 60s? Maybe." Otto Preminger being the second Mr. Freeze actor from the 1960s series. Funny enough, he was the only one who was actually German. So the history is that Mr. Freeze is introduced into the comics in the 1950s as Mr. Zero, as in Sub-Zero. And then the 66 show says, well, let's change his name to something cooler sounding. Let's call him Mr. Freeze. And so they did Mr. Freeze, and George Sanders was the first Mr. Freeze. And George Sanders decided to play him with a German accent. And then Mr. Freeze was played by a different actor each time he showed up. So the next time it was Otto Preminger, and he naturally had that accent. And then by the time I got to Eli Wallach, he just decided to follow suit from everyone else. So I think I haven't seen his episodes yet. I've seen the ones with Sanders and Preminger, so I might be wrong about Eli Wallach, but I'll have to check that out. Anyway,
on BTAS, he just has a American accent, right?
Yeah, it's just that cold, very robotic type of voice.
Yes. Well, a warm hand waits for mine.
Yes.
Emmy award-winning episode, right?
Indeed. The Batmobile, as we see here, with the giant ass fin. Look at that. It's about to stab somebody.
Oh man, have I turned you into a fin hater?
I'm not necessarily a fin hater so much as the size of the fin.
That's what I'm saying. A big fin hater.
Yeah. I mean, if it looks like the classic 1940s one, I'm fine with it. You know, like it's just where it's like basically half the size. But yeah, for this one, it's not that I hate it. It's just it's not my preferred look.
Oh, it just looks so heavy. I can't stand it. It drives me nuts.
So more batarangs and devices and ice skates over here, different gadgets. We got the bat cuffs again on it, which I believe he uses to arrest Mr. Freeze in the movie. We got these wrist grappling guns that shoot out from the wrists as well. So those are all pretty cool. A sculpt of the Batmobile, only one fin so far on it in this current version. These are the miniatures of Gotham City. You can see the people there. You can see the guy right here. Just to give you a perspective of that. So that's pretty fucking cool.
The miniatures of the building, again, for oral people.
The miniatures of Gotham buildings.
We say miniature, but it's miniature for a building. But these are like, what, 20 feet tall? Like, if this guy is like
Probably,
6 feet tall. Like, he's still walking. It's still like, they're still kind of big, but they're small for buildings.
It's pretty cool. I'd love to walk through that.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. I agree with that.
It won't be as cool as walking through the actual Anton first set, in '89, if we were to go back in time and be able to do that. But this is a close second to being able to step onto a Gotham City set.
Warner Brothers they need to have more in their Batman tour, dude. Like, they need to have stuff like that. Like, on the way to the gift shop, you walk through this.
You walk through the miniatures, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Again, more stuff here. Again, you can see people down here on there. So that's pretty fucking cool. The stylized version. I think we had a fan comment on our Instagram that Schumacher's Gotham is their favorite Gotham on that. And I think it's definitely an underrated one. I don't know if it's my favorite. I think '89 is still going to take the top no matter what. But there is an aspect to Schumacher's Gotham that I think gets unfairly maligned just because of the fact that it's associated with the Schumacher films. But if you take a look at it, I'm just like, you still got the gargoyles. It still has a very much has a feel to the city, the otherworldly feel to it that I feel like is kind of necessary for that. And it's an awesome Gotham. Maybe not my favorite, but it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. No complaints from me really about that.
Yeah. This is another miniature of the Arkham Asylum. We talked about the one from Batman Forever last time. This is the one from Batman and Robin. So that's pretty cool. Still have those long-ass gargoyle type things that we suspected might have been what Batman and Robin are standing on in the cut finale of Batman Forever, the Schumacher cut. You guys can check out that episode.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. More stuff of Gotham. Again, it's a really cool, it's an underrated Gotham. Now we're going to get into some storyboard stuff. So this is Mr. Freeze's escape from Arkham. Notice how Poison Ivy and Bane look a lot more comic book traditional here. So Ivy looks very traditional. Bane looks very traditional. Look at that. He's not like it's very simple. They're just like, fuck this over-designed shit that we're doing. It's a storyboard. We don't need to do that much.
I'm the storyboard artist. I don't over-design shit.
Does it look like the character? Yes. Job's done. So
could have been before. Could have been before they designed it. It's all happening at the same time, and the departments aren't necessarily talking to one another. So,
but it's cool to see. In general, I always kind of like seeing. I'm a sucker for images of comic book versions of the characters doing movie stuff. So like, there's some art of like the Batman poster, but it's like done in the style of BTAS. I love that. This is the stuff of the Batman poster in the style of like other artists, or just like a general comic book style. Also, just love that. That's also why I became a fan of Dustin Lee Massey, because of the fact that he kind of did the reverse of putting like movie characters in comic book art and stuff.
That is cool too.
Yeah,
for sure.
So a lot of these storyboards are actually on trading cards and stuff. So
as they always are.
Yes. So thanks to the trading cards, we have more material for our episodes. And notice as well, we've pointed this out in the previous Batman Forever concept art stuff, but notice the director approved stamp on this has the words director approved are within a bat for the RO listeners who aren't able to see this. So that's pretty cool. So moving further, we got the museum fight. Stays pretty close. We've got the hockey team from hell. Henchmen over here with their hockey masks and stuff, basically coming around to fight Batman and Robin. They use these poles against them, sort of pole vault over them. The Ice-mobile, Freeze's Ice-mobile type of thing comes in. Batman and Robin again over here. That Robin's mask is huge on this.
Yeah, this is a
but
little
again,
off.
This is a little storyboard. Again, it's only storyboards. They don't have to stay
that's
completely
true
to what it's going to look like. Batman battle on the ice. Batman skating and beating up different people on here, and slipping and falling. Happens to us all. They slide and head towards the thugs here. We've got another. This is another image from later on in the movie of Mr. Freeze's escape, where Bane reaches through and grabs the guard from within. Looks way scarier in the storyboard than it does in the movie.
Yeah.
And a close-up image now of Bane beating up those people on his way to helping to free Mr. Freeze in a very traditional comic book, traditional look at Bane. Poison Ivy releasing Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze getting his ice suit back while shirtless. Would have showed off Arnold's muscles at that point.
That's right.
Mr. Freeze getting his freeze suit back here and stepping out of the force field. Notice he's got the goggles and stuff from the traditional look from the Batman the Animated Series that carried over into the comics. And then shirtless Freeze again. He is ripped for a guy who's a scientist.
It is Arnold though, but yeah.
It is, yeah, exactly. Him trying to beat up other Arkham guards.
You ever seen Commando?
I've seen parts of it.
There's one, I think it's Commando, where he's like, it's like peak Arnold, where it's like 87, 86 or something, and he's like just rowing a fucking boat, and it's just to show off how fucking ridiculously jacked he is. Like, it serves no purpose really. I mean, he's
like
rowing a
these
boat
days.
to go shoot somebody, but still, it's just like they know what they're doing, you know.
I mean, these days you see, the Chris Hemsworth is almost contractually obligated to have a shirtless scene whenever he's Thor and stuff, which they obviously took to comedic effect when it was Endgame.
That shit was great. That was one of the best parts of the movie. I mean, among everything else. But I mean, also, what was it in Civil War? Maybe with Chris Evans fucking showing off the biceps.
When he's grabbing the helicopter, yeah.
Yeah, and with the building, or he's between.
He's in between the building and the helicopter.
Together.
He's trying to stop the helicopter from going.
Yeah.
Oh man, this looks like an interesting scene of Freeze trying to freeze a guard in Arkham, and I remember him trying to escape from the force field in there, but I don't remember him freezing the guard like this. So this could be something that was deleted or cut. Him trying to escape right here. Again, finding that he can't last outside of the force field and collapsing to the ground. More illustrations here of Batman fighting Mr. Freeze's goons. Same type of stuff that we've seen before. The very Predator-looking goons as well. On that, it's almost like a Predator face on the right.
Yeah, it does look like that.
Yeah. More images. Batman and Robin and Batgirl over here. On the right, you see Batgirl's got the cowl on during the observatory scene, so that's different from what we got in the movie. Some more concept art designs of just general Gotham or Gotham frozen over, and Ivy's poison purse that says thorns around it, which makes more sense to me than her wearing thorns on her outfit.
Right, because she could attack with the purse.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Gotham rapid print. This is just random shit. Snowy Cone's ice cream for Mr. Freeze's hideout and shit. And here are some designs that ended up being eventually for the posters and stuff. This is sort of concept art for the marketing campaigns in terms of this is what you could do in terms of different shots for the posters, because they did character posters for this movie. So you've got Mr. Freeze. Well, beforehand we had Robin. Had to have one that showed off the ass here on the
You got
right.
to.
Yeah.
He's basically turning into Nightwing, so we have to have that.
Nothing signifies the evolution to Nightwing than an ass shot. So
that's true.
It's
like Gordon slowly growing a stash in Gotham. It signifies a character arc.
Of course, yes. Mr. Freeze again. More poster art here. Kind of trying to do a comic book panel thing of Batman's face, Batgirl's face, Robin's face, on overlaid on top of other images of Batman and the Bat family. Then images of the villains. This must have been for the villains posters on that. Like, this is pretty fucking good.
This is really good. This looks like Struzan or something. Drew Struzan.
Yeah, this
almost.
might be John Alvin. Alvin did the posters for the previous movies too, so that could be the case here. I'll have to check in with Dan on that one. But yeah, more stuff here. Kind of the comic book panel type thing too, with the villains on the right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Batgirl. No, she's still got the cowl in this one.
Yep. That's cool. Looks good.
Yeah. And then Poison Ivy. Also kind of a different look on Poison Ivy than what we got in the movie. Kind of also a very suggestive shot on the right. Also has a shot of the equal opportunity ass shots in this.
This is what was that one that we had? We thought we might not be able to show on YouTube. What was it? BTAS one, Paul Dini's art or something.
It was Bruce Timm's art, I think, for Poison Ivy.
Yeah. I was like, can we show this? We haven't gotten docked yet. Yeah.
I've seen Bruce Timm is weird on certain things because of the fact that he's such a big proponent of the Batman-Batgirl romance, which I'm always just like, no. Sorry, Tim, no. And he's also had like other art that we would not be able to show that I've seen on.
Yeah.
It's either, I'm pretty sure it's by him. It could just be somebody who does in his style, but does like very, sexual.
It's probably
versions of
him.
it. But it's probably him. I'm just like, all right, well, clearly he needed to get something off his chest. He needs to get something out in order to do those.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be common with a lot of comic book artists, bro. There's the private collection.
Yes.
So
some of the private collection.
Yeah, we saw some of it. Some of it makes it to the internet, which maybe, I don't know. Anyway, it's a whole other topic.
Yeah. But it's more, I'm more find him weird because of the Batman-Batgirl romance, not because of his images for his private collection. But, BTAS is what it is, not just because of him, but because of Paul Dini and Alan Burnett and so many of the other people. And some of Bruce Timm's ideas, I'm just like, I don't know, man.
It's the combination of guys.
Yeah.
Dini probably shot down those ideas.
It's like Nolan with Goyer. I'm just like, without Goyer, would we really have gotten Begins the way it was? If he was just like, does he need a utility belt? Yes.
Yeah. Does he? Yeah, that's the worst one. The second worst one is, does Scarecrow need a mask? Goyer had to convince him. Goyer had to convince him to put on to have a mask.
Yeah.
For Scarecrow to have a mask. So yeah.
I mean, Goyer was just like, I didn't have to convince him. I just had to tell him it was a gas mask. I'm just like, still, the fact you had to tell him that.
Yeah, because he didn't want to have the mask at first at all, right?
It didn't seem like it, yeah.
Yeah.
No, everything had to have a reason, as opposed to just like, well, why is he called Scarecrow if he doesn't have at least some burlap thing covering his head?
Yeah. I don't know.
We didn't get straw. We didn't get a hat. We didn't get a Scarecrow costume. It was literally just that mask was the closest we ever got in terms of that interpretation.
Right.
Thank God
Not
for the
my
Gotham version that gave us
diagnosis.
another one. Yeah.
They gave him
The
kind
Gotham
of
one
a
gave us a much cooler Scarecrow.
That's true. Yeah. They could, dude. They could definitely make a better Scarecrow. I mean, Cillian Murphy Killian, however you say his name. I think he was pretty good, right? Like overall, like it was cool.
Good.
I mean, it's fucking Nolan Batman. It was good overall, of course.
It was good. I'm sure that I don't know if we'll get Scarecrow in this upcoming, in the Reeves sequels or the Reeves verse. We likely will if it's like Arkham, but I don't know if he's going to be like a main villain. But
yeah,
maybe
in the
Arkham
Arkham show. Yeah,
it'd be cool in the Arkham show.
Yeah, they kind of have to really if they're going like that horror route.
Yeah,
he's got to be like first episode, honestly. Like they got to really open with that.
That's true. They should.
More
shots. This one on the left, of course, showing off Poison Ivy's legs. Kind of an ass shot on the right. Not as impressive. Not as impressive as Dick's ass, I gotta say. They got a much firmer ass than this.
You could, I guess so. Yeah.
To be fair, his is molded in rubber and hers are natural in this one, so
that's
gotta
true.
Give him some slack.
You booty shaming Poison Ivy, bro. fake Poison Ivy.
Yes.
Not Uma Thurman.
Batman over here. More images. We got the Dark Knight Returns pose on the left of him jumping down, and then we got the Neil Adams pose of Batman on the right. Would have been really cool if they had Clooney replicate that. I know it's the Clooney Batman doing that, so fans probably wouldn't have found it as enthusiastic as if compared to like Keaton or Bale or Affleck or Pattinson, but still.
It's cool. It's like a stalking your prey kind of thing.
Yeah.
The walking one.
These. Yeah, I'd love to see these brought to like the one on the left where Dark Knight Returns. That could have been a great Batfleck poster because you've already got the Dark Knight Returns connection to his Batman.
Oh, right. That's
and then
true.
This Neil Adams one would be great for like the Batman 2 for Pattinson.
This is storyboard art, right?
Yeah, I believe Dan said this was for the posters. So I think this is like concept
posters,
art for the character posters and stuff because each character had his and her own posters and stuff. So
these are cool. This artist is cool. I like it.
Yeah, and then the last one is Robin here. Robin head and Robin straight on action over here. Different chest symbol too. On this, I think they just didn't really want to bother with it. He's also kind of got you can definitely see the Nightwing type arm bracelet type things that he's got.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
All right, and you predicted it. This is going to be one of our shorter episodes because that is superhero stuff you should know. All right, here we go. Big thanks to our research assistant Dan for putting together pretty much all the visuals on this one. This was basically your episode, Dan, in terms of all those ones because I wasn't super familiar with a lot of the concept art in this one in comparison to the others. We have a few other things though to add, so I wanted to include some things. Go ahead.
Sorry, I dropped some shit. Keep going.
Yeah, we wanted to include some things from the previous movies that we didn't get to cover. So this is basically a collage from on DeviantArt. The artist's name is Freak Terrorizes, but this is a comparison of concept art with comic book art. So on the right are concept art from Batman '89, which we did cover, but on the left are kind of the images that probably inspired it. On the top left is from Neil Adams, and then on the bottom left is that looks very much like Jorge Luis Garcia Lopez on that. So that's pretty cool on that. And then this other one shows yet again that they were modeling their stuff off of Neil Adams with this Batman cup, but it's redone with the Batman '89 suit, as you can tell from the utility belt as well as the sort of the gauntlet, the forearm gauntlet there.
That logo too.
And the
black
logo
and
too,
gold.
Of course.
Yeah.
The most obvious, yeah. So,
yeah.
Pretty cool stuff from there. Moving on to Batman Returns. This is an image that may haunt your nightmares.
Here we go.
Baby Penguin.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen this before.
Look at
actually.
this. It looks like there was actually a baby penguin on the set. An actor, or I think it was an actor with the makeup on or something, or it was a dummy that they just did a pose with. Who knows? What the hell?
No, I think this was an actor. I've seen a bigger shot of this. This really is horrific. I mean, it's with the person has prosthetics, right?
Yeah.
We can assume. Yeah. So yeah, it was horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that we can't unsee on there, but that's interesting. I do wonder if we were supposed to get a clearer shot, because why else would you have prosthetics? We never end up getting to see what was there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they just cut it the last second.
Yeah. So we have some other scenes that we did not cover in the Schumacher cut because I forgot about them. So this is one of Two-Face dancing. This is included in the virtual work print edition. It would have just made things campier in terms of Tommy Lee Jones' performance. Let's be real here. When does Two-Face ever dance in the comics to like this, in this type of way? I'm sure somebody's going to comment with some comic on it. But for the most part.
Actually, he danced.
Actually, he does. Yes.
Issue 164.
Yeah. This is an image of Two-Face holding a gun to Riddler. And this seems like this is likely before... Ooh, I forgot the other image. There's another image of Riddler reading a newspaper that's been going around. I did not pull that up. I fucked up on this one. But this is another one.
How dare you?
So there was in the final film, right? It just cuts to the newspaper saying that Batman survived, and then Two-Face moans, and then Riddler brings up like, "Oh, I taught my dog a new trick," and shows that like Bruce Wayne is Batman. That's all we see of the scene. But in the original script, Riddler was reading the paper about Batman's survival when Two-Face shows up with a gun and decides that he wants to kill the Riddler because he figures that Batman's dead and he doesn't need the Riddler anymore. And he's just going to take over the whole operation. So this looks like it's Two-Face confronting Riddler. again, it seems like a darker take on it, but we don't know how it would have been played out. And we've heard basically that a lot of some of these scenes, especially with the villains, are kind of a lot more comedic than you would think in terms of how they were played. It makes sense given how they were portrayed in the final movie. So I wouldn't expect this to be that dark of a scene, but who knows? I'd love to see it someday.
Yeah, Schumacher obviously had a direction he wanted to go in, which wasn't super dark. So
yeah, and you'll notice, take a look at Two-Face's watch. That's a yin yang, the red and black.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't just in that concept art for the flashlight. It wasn't just on the parachute when he took off. So this Two-Face has just a lot to do with the black and red yin yang, I guess. Who knew? Moving further, and this is a storyboard from Batman Forever of what looks like the sonar suit, I think, from a little later. Again, from the definitive history of the Dark Knight book from Farrago and McIntyre. So check that out at the store. Let's go into the fan comments. So this may be from the same person, but on Twitter, LA Dore Masses says, watched your Schumacher cut deep dive, wanted to add something extra, was watching some B-roll on YouTube and noticed this shot of what appears to be a work print, bottom left. This scene happens around the 1 hour, 50 minutes, 51 mark in the finished cut. The screen cap refers to the image of Batman throwing the Batarang at the giant box thing above Riddler's head in the final film. Kato Bruce Lee 08, who I suspect is the same person, says in the YouTube comment, original comment got deleted probably because I linked a photo. On the DVD extras, there is a shot that includes a clip from the work print. It's Batman throwing that Batarang into the Enigma box, timestamp at roughly the 2 hour, 52-minute mark. In the final cut, this happens at the 1 hour, 51-minute mark. The deleted scenes available are only roughly 12 minutes of that, so there is roughly 45-ish minutes of unseen, deleted, extended, or alternate takes. The image on the last page of the Batman virtual work print thread on the Batman Online. Oh, the image is on the last page of the Batman Forever virtual work print thread on the Batman Online forum.
So this 2 hours and 52 minutes, this virtual work print, this is like a rough cut of the film?
Yeah, so basically what we've heard is that if there's a Schumacher cut, it's the quote-unquote the work print cut, which is the one that was before the final cut of the film and probably has a lot of these deleted scenes that we talked about in the last episode.
Okay.
So, but we also don't know how much of that are alternate takes or longer takes or duplicate takes or just like random B-roll that was put in. Like, yes, there are it says, roughly 45-ish minutes of unseen, deleted, extended, or alternate takes, but I'm just like, how much though? Like, if it is like an extra 30 seconds per scene, that's going to add up over time. Like, if we're taking a look at just the overall movie making process, the first assembly that you put of a movie is going to be way longer than what you got.
It's usually way longer. It's usually much, much longer. They work absolute fucking magic in the editing room, man.
Yeah.
So, also, yeah, I don't know how this editor worked or whatever, but it could have been, like you said, they could have had like take 1, 2, and 3 just kind of back to back in the cut, and then kind of choose which one they wanted later, and that can just drive up your run time. So this, I don't know, man. I would take this really with a grain of salt here.
Yeah.
This 2 hours and 50, minute thing. I mean, maybe there's 45 minutes of just pure gold footage, but I really don't think so.
I think I would not be surprised if at least 30 minutes of that are alternate takes of Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
It's just him just riffing off of them. Like, there's just some comedic gold there, but they ultimately had to go with whatever fit the movie the best in that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I'm sure there was a shit ton of improv that he did on the set that they were just like, we could use any one of these. Let's take a look and see what plays best.
That's true. Jim Carrey's improv also. So they have a lot of footage to go through to find the right one that works with the story and everything too. So yeah, that's definitely a factor for sure.
Yeah.
So the first few cuts, generally it'll go from super long to short, and it doesn't ever go from short to long, hardly ever. You know what I mean? So that's just how it works, generally speaking. Also, at this time, I wonder, like, were they editing were they editing what's known as a Steenbeck, which is like they're really editing film? Because it being 97, like I don't know if they had really transferred over into editing digitally, like using an Avid machine, and.
It was even earlier. It's 95, actually, now that I think about it.
It's 95, right? So
likely,
it probably was like...
Yeah.
Might have been on a Steenbeck. I mean, Kevin Smith talks
is.
about editing Clerks on one of those machines. Mm-hmm. And it's like... I don't know. I can just kind of see them kind of putting a bunch of takes in a row if they have to edit that way.
Yeah.
Then again, I could be wrong about fucking all this. But I think the general idea I'm trying to say is like... there's just probably not 45 minutes. Like, just don't go on these numbers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like I would say probably the reason why it's that long is because of what we just talked about, and most likely if they were to do a finished cut that included all the deleted scenes, it'd probably be something closer to like 2 hours 20 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes maybe. Or so, if at the longest. On that, I really don't think it was meant to be 3 hours. The script itself wasn't even that long. The script itself wasn't 200 pages and stuff. We took a look at it. We took a look at 3 different versions of it, and none of them were that long. So it's most likely due to all that. But still, fun to think about.
It's fun to think about. Yeah, just those numbers are not gospel. That's just that's the bottom line, really.
We got multiple comments actually, just from today on where this image comes from, because we were just like, this looks kind of Photoshopped. Turns out it is, but not the way that you think. So basically, Texas film critic Matt B. And Mind Kidzag, whose Twitter account I got this image from, have all chimed in on this. This is from the bonus features from Batman Forever. Mind says, quote, I got this photo from the Batman Forever 2005 documentary. The documentary did a panning up shot of this photo, so I just photoshopped these 2 frames together. So it is photoshopped, but it's photoshopped of the actual photo that was shown in the documentary. So that's pretty cool. And Matt B also verified this for us by sending us a video recorded for us so that we can see that. So that's pretty awesome. So thanks everyone for chiming in on that. So yeah, we can officially say this was something that was shot. This was an actual scene. This is not just somebody trying to Photoshop Val Kilmer's head off of something in order to create something. So that's pretty cool.
Right. That is cool.
Lastly, Alex Lemons, the biggest Poison Ivy fan we've done. Because every single comment that you make is about Poison Ivy. So it says
That's
something
cool.
regarding Forever I didn't notice until years later. Mary Grayson has eyepieces similar to Poison Ivy's in Batman and Robin. Also, she and Pam were both voiced by Diane Pershing in the animated series. That's right, Diane Pershing did the voice of Poison Ivy, and she also did other voices throughout the show, including Robin's mom in the animated series. Coincidences? Implicit Oedipus complex? You decide. And just to show this, yeah, you're right. The very similar eyepieces on Mary Grayson, Batman Forever, and Uma Thurman in Batman and Robin.
That's true. Similar color scheme too, really red and green.
Yeah.
Some yellows in her eyes. I
think we can make this canon. Robin definitely has an Oedipus complex in the Schumacher movies.
May it be so.
Canon, everybody.
Man.
All right.
Yeah.
And I believe that's the last of the fan comments.
New this April from HyperX. It's the HyperX Clutch Controller.
Get better control of your mobile gaming with its comfortable grip, directional pad, analog sticks, and shoulder button.
This versatile controller can fit a variety of phone widths and can also connect wirelessly for use on tablets and PCs.
Learn more and pick one up online at HyperX and HP.com, Amazon, Micro Center, Target, Best Buy, and many other fine retailers.
Woo!
Over to you for the shout-out.
Oh, man, would you look at that? It's already time, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to thank, let's just, again, start with the newer people and just do the newer people. But, our Patreon, our newest Patreon supporters who are Daniel V, Pete B, Halsey C, Maurice D, Jonathan, and Noel. And we have the rest of the list on the visual in the YouTube version, so take a look at that. And our other supporters are on there as well. And then moving right along, zooming through, so we have Shasta Army. Please check out patreon.com/superherostuffpod. And that's the $1 tier is where you can join the Shasta Army that gets you the shout out, be it visual or oral. And the $5 tier gets you a whole other show. This show you're watching right now or listening orally is fucking on Mondays, every Monday for free. And then we have the $5 tier behind the paywall on our Patreon, and that's every Friday. And then we have a $10 tier as well, which is a monthly meetup type of show where we chat with fans, with the listeners, but also have a topic at hand. A little bit of chatting, a little bit of topic. You know, it's pretty, it's kind of loose, but it's we kind of talk directly with people there in a Zoom-like environment. So, yeah, that's the $10 tier. And, of course, just like every other Patreon, if you join the $10 tier, you get the benefits below that as well. So you get the $5 and the $1 tier. If you get the $5 tier, you get the $1 tier benefits. So there you go. And we have superheroes. We have the Superhouse Pod, Superhero Stuff Pod merch. I have it fucking written here, and I say it the wrong way every time. Superhero Stuff Pod merch. Fucking, and we're on Redbubble and Threadless at superhousepod.redbubble.com and superherostuffpod.threadless.com. We got a Zacula, Bin Man, and Indeed Wizard, mug, shirt, shower curtains, etc. There, artwork by Stefan Santa Cruz, not Zach on those. But please send us some audio to superhousepodcast@gmail.com. We were getting kind of a lot in like January and February, I think, but I guess people got busy or something. But yeah, please send us some more. That'd be great. We want to add some more of that. So you too can be on the show. And then Thunderwolf Drew on Instagram and Twitter. Thunderwolf Lives on YouTube is me. I talk about Japanese stuff, language, gaming stuff, things like that on there. And ThunderwolfDrew.com has my whole portfolio except for AmanoRecon.com. That's AMANORECON.com. Basically, R-rated Stranger Things meets R-rated Power Rangers. You blend it all up. You put some gray aliens in there, and you're going to get this. It's going to be on Indiegogo soon, where I'm shooting pickup shots at near the end of this month. So things are still happening. So it's coming. There is a cut already. We just got to kind of flesh it out. So that's it. Ben?
Shout out to Comic Capital on Instagram, as well as the Everything Entertainment Club on Clubhouse. You can follow us on social media on Twitter at SuperhousePod, Instagram at Superhero Stuff Pod, TikTok, Superhero Stuff Pod, Vero, Superhero Stuff Pod. My website is BenjuanWriter, where you can also, BenjuanWriter.com, where you can also read my scripts, my Gotham script, Gotham Vampire, where young Bruce faces off against the Mad Monk, as well as Elementary, The Death of Sherlock Holmes, a modern update on the classic story, The Adventure of the Dying Detective, and Curb Your Enthusiasm, Disneyland, where you do the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode they could never make, where Larry goes to Disneyland. My YouTube channel is in the description below, where you can check out Doctor Who, The Ronin of Time, an audio drama I write, narrate, and edit, in which the 8th Doctor meets Miyamoto Musashi. My personal Instagram is BenjuanWriter. My son's Instagram, my cat Alfie, is at Alfie Pennyworth Cat. And if you have an Alfie, or if you have a cat in general, like the podcast co-host here, then you can get the Whisker Box, the only cat box with a crazy cat lady and Jut. And if you don't have a cat, but you have a dog instead, that's okay. You can get the Bark Box, y'all. Yes, the Bark Box. Give your dog exactly what they want with the Bark Box. You can use our promo link. Basically, get the first month off free, valued at $35. You can get that link over at superherostuffpod.com/shop, where you can also get all sorts of shit. You can also get the affiliate link to buy the Batman Definitive History of the Dark Knight book by Andrew Farago and Gina McIntyre that has a lot of the concept art that we've been including in this. And you can also get Manscaped as well if you go to manscaped.com and use our promo code, as we talked about in the break, Johnson's Ballsack. Yes, that is back again. Johnson's Ballsack is used. Please use that and stuff, and shave your balls and get the Bruce Wayne lifestyle. Back over to Andrew.
Yes, manscaped.com. When you check out, choose the promo code Johnson's Ballsack. Just all the fucking letters, no apostrophe, no space. So
Yes.
that's the promo code. And that's kind of like a big one right now. So, I mean, not to belittle the others, they're all fucking wonderful. But Manscaped is kind of a newer one for us, so we want to kind of focus a lot on that. Also with their HyperX shit. But anyway,
Yes.
thank you, HyperX, our podcast network.
Thank you.
But yeah, we want you to do us a favor.
We want you to tell all your friends about us.
I fucking don't have a line from Batman and Robin. We're going to end it like this.
Kill you, dick.
Well, I already did that one, but all right.